Hello and welcome to my official first video from Antarctica. Now my previous video before this was how I got from Manchester to Ushuaia at the end of the world in Argentina. I spent a day in Buenos Aires and also 2 days in Ushuaia doing a lot of the things around there, which was perfect to get me ready for this once in a lifetime bucket list trip to Antarctica. Now we set sail from Ushuaia at about 6:30 last night. Before we set sail we checked into our rooms, we unpacked, or at least most of us did. Me and my roomie did unpack, and we had a safety briefing and then we headed for dinner. Now the first part of the journey is to go down the Beagle Channel, which has Argentina on one side and Chile on the other side. Next part of the journey is the Drake Passage. Now the Drake Passage is very famous, one because it is the way that you get from South America to Antarctica, but also because you never know what it's going to be like. It's called the Drake Shake and it's also called the Drake Lake because it may be clear and it may be very, very shaky. We are currently on the Drake Passage right now. It takes 2 sea days to get to Antarctica. So far the Drake Passage hasn't been too bad. We can definitely feel the ship rocking, but I wouldn't say that this is like what they class as the Drake Shake. I'm not sure if it's what they class as the Drake Lake either. Of course seasickness is the thing that most people worry about. I did put some like motion sickness like tabs that you just put behind your ear, and they're actually like a natural remedy and they can last for a couple of days. We were advised to take them just as we were going to bed last night at 10 o'clock because then the boat was going to shake, and honestly I think I had about half an hour lying in bed with it being okay, and then it was like, okay, now we've hit the Drake Passage. So this whole Antarctica trip is like 9 days in total. I'm probably going to break this down into like 2 separate videos. So right now everything is a little bit slow. We're just getting to know the ship. I just had a really nice walk around. There's actually loads of different deck areas that you can explore. There's lots of different rooms. There's still like kind of a small gym, a small spa area, but there's also like a yoga room and plenty of places to sit. And then of course we have breakfast, lunch and dinner, which I think on sea days is basically what we're just going to be waiting for. But what's also really good is there's plenty of talk. So I'm going to a talk this afternoon on the heroic age of Antarctica explorers, which I'm really looking forward to. And they do those to keep us busy, but obviously to educate us as well, because there's so many people on the boat who have worked so many seasons in Antarctica. So right now I am in my room. I feel like I'm probably going to vlog mostly from my room because I'm not really confident in talking in front of a camera in front of people anymore. We've been really lucky with our room because we've actually got this living area, and then we've also got a separate bedroom, plenty of storage, and actually 2 bathrooms, which I didn't expect. So it's super nice for us to have our own bathrooms each, our own wardrobes, and actually just have a little bit of space because we are going to be on here obviously, like I said, for the next 8 to 9 days. So that is pretty much a recap of day 1 and day 2 of what is to come for Antarctica. So I think that I would just check back in on day 3 when things are going to get a little bit more exciting.
Ready for Antarctica?
Okay, we are coming up to the end of day 2. I know I said I'd be back when things get exciting. Not so exciting for you watching this, but we have had an exciting day today for us because we've got our boots, we've tried all of our things on, and we've had some mandatory talks of how to deal with the wildlife in Antarctica, things about obviously not taking rubbish on, and these are mandatory videos that we have to watch and sign for before we are allowed on Antarctica. So it has been an exciting day for us. We are also very, very close now. I think we're going to see some icebergs in the next couple of hours. So yeah, and then tomorrow we will be getting off and really seeing Antarctica. Day, so this is our second night on board. It is 9 PM and we have seen our first icebergs and also land mass of Antarctica. It is so snowing. This is not usual for this season. I'll fill you in more about this probably in the coming days with all the weather, but it is amazing. Okay, so we woke up at Danko Island for our first official day on the Antarctic Peninsula. We did wake up to quite a lot of snow. There was a lot of snow last night. It is quite hazy or atmospheric as it was described to me earlier, which I would say it is. Now this is definitely different to kind of what I'd seen in like the pictures and the brochures and everything, but I feel like we are not letting it get us down. I know that the team, the Intrepid team, are going to make sure that we can see the best with the weather, but it just shows you that you never know what you're going to get with Antarctica, because they've actually had more snow at the start of the season than they have for the last 2 years. So this wasn't quite expected, but it is absolutely fine. I can see now it's not snowing so much. They are now dropping the zodiacs from the top so we can get in them very soon. So let's go and see what the Antarctic Peninsula is about.
And then the Gen 2. Out of the 18 species, they're number 3. Excursion on our first day, but you just finish lunch and then just come out and think like, wow, we are just surrounded by islands and icebergs and Antarctica.
Of the texture of ice if it's been worked on by seawater. So seawater constantly erodes ice, and this kind of dimpled feeling, you can see it on big, massive, giant icebergs the size of the ship, and it means what's happened is that that iceberg has rolled and the whole of it has been underwater for a significant period of time. So we'll see if we can find kind of nice ones that are big and have been underwater and go into that.